is through ESL,
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
then the digital course in coaching is through Next Level.
Okay. Well, DSL?
ESL of
DSL.
Empowered Salon Leaders. Yeah, Empowered Salon Leaders. So that's Christine Nula, myself, our coaching
Okay.
team,
And that handles which part?
masterminds,
Yeah.
and membership.
Yeah. Masterminds and membership or is empowered
Yeah.
salon.
But my main focus, of course, is the Next Level Salon Leadership. So that's what I wanted to ask you, because this is where I can really get off track, because it's like, oh yeah, we got this, we got that. So I just want to stay focused on the Next Level Salon Leadership. And so I guess that was my question to you on that. And then kind of going to I put down, and I kind of changed it up. I said, I help salon owners to achieve a scalable business in 6 to 12 months without sacrificing well-being or work-life imbalance. Or work-life balance, I guess I should say.
What do they achieve?
So
help salon owners too.
a scalable business.
Mm-hmm.
So, because again, I think overwhelm, being broke, finding staff is all the root of not scaling your business. Because I'm all about like scale or fail.
Mm-hmm. Okay. First time I've
Because
heard you say that.
yeah, you have to like change your mindset of, okay, if I don't scale, then I'm going to fail. So if I don't have that mindset, so that constant growth mindset, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
and otherwise you are going to be stuck doing everything. Because if you own one business, it's, you can't afford to hire a bunch of people to run that business. I mean, generally, unless you're in a high market,
Mm-hmm.
that's, scale that's hitting, 3 million
Mm-hmm.
a year. And so, yeah. And then I just put down on the myths, I put,
Hold on. Let's slow up a second
okay.
because there's a lot in here. There's a couple things. Like I haven't heard you say scale or fail before. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And it's something that you should get caught saying,
Yeah.
a lot. Obviously we've heard, right, growth mindset. So like paint that picture a little bit more for me. I've
Yeah.
like we've everybody says growth mindset in every
Yeah.
different genre, right? So tell me more about what you mean when you say growth mindset.
Yeah.
What are the thoughts they should be thinking, the beliefs they should be having, and the actions they should be taking?
Yeah, because I believe like you being overwhelmed, you being broke, you not finding staff is all the result of not having a growth mindset for yourself. So, for instance, most salon owners that we coach in Next Level Salon Leadership, they have one business. So, really, they bought themselves a job.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we want to help take you to that next level where we're helping you to actually build a business where you don't have to be present 24/7 in order for that business to run. We want you to make money while you're sitting on the beach. We don't want
What
you.
I'm trying to learn to do, Tina.
What's that? What you're trying to do? Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Every solopreneur, and that's, I think, just getting out of the mindset of, hey, I'm not here. Like I was teaching my son this because I don't know if you saw, but they made his wife made 30 under 30. So
Okay. No, because I don't know who your son is actually.
okay, so
Yep.
they my daughter, if you look up there, it's called Yellow the Label. So it's YLW
Okay.
Yellow the Label. Let me see if I can find it. Actually, it's the word yellow. Yeah,
Yep,
Yellow the
I got
Label.
it. Yellow the label.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you look at them, so they started, my son and
Wow.
his wife, they started this during COVID. And from day one, I said to my son, I said, okay, you could both buy yourself a job, or where you have to be present in order to run this business, or you could actually run a business where you could actually help it make money. So that means you need a team.
Mm-hmm.
And so from the get-go, they were like, okay, yeah. And so when we coach salon owners, for instance, both of the salon owners that I just talked to this week, we're still working on helping them to make enough money so they can afford a manager or a director. So this is the only way they're going to be able to scale, because they've got to have a team. They can't continue to think I'm going to do everything, because this is where the overwhelm comes from.
Yeah. What I love about this is many things. When I say, like, everybody says growth mindset, that's a very nice thing to say. Now define that.
Yeah.
So the second part that comes with that is, okay, great. I'm ready. What are the thoughts now I need to be thinking? And that's that, step one, you said, is to, number one, get to the point where you're making enough money that you can bring this next person on.
Yeah.
Number two, who is your first hire, perhaps? What are the things that they need to take off of your plate? Because a lot of people hire people.
Yeah.
But to do what? What's that next piece? And the other part about growth mindset was, what am I trying to grow to?
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to grow to is either I'm just paraphrasing. I'm not like generating enough revenue that I can have a team that whatever business it is I own and run, if it's a brick and mortar, that I don't have to be there, full time or even part time. And then number two, from there, like, are you thinking big enough that, like, are you thinking small enough that this just stays a one thing? Well, imagine if you could multiply it, which is something, somebody with 9 businesses understands. And I think that you, like, getting caught mentioning that you've got 9 businesses, I think is something that, should happen a lot. Even if it's just a one-liner. Like, I would have never imagined I'd be, I don't know. How do you title yourself in your business world?
I would just say being the owner of businesses. And
a few years back, I may or may not have dreamed that I'd be the owner of 9 businesses.
Yeah.
So you're not telling your story in the way of, like, look at how great I am, which you are, but you're telling your story in the way, so, like, just like you, at one point, I don't know that I knew that I was going to have 9 businesses.
Yeah.
And those are the things, that I think you could point people towards, where growth mindset doesn't sound generic. It sounds quite specific.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah, that's just it. And I think maybe, and so I kind of wanted to ask you, is it going to be similar to what we're doing now, this whole, like a podcast? I mean, and then so I'll kind of have like nuggets in front of me that I know I want to talk about. Mm-hmm. And then you're just going to be questioning me. I mean, I didn't know who it was going to be that was going to be doing the questions.
Yeah. It'll be 3 of us, maybe 4.
Okay.
And the people that'll be doing interviews will be myself, Giovanni Giuntoli, and Scott. And hopefully, I'm hoping tomorrow that I can sign up these 2 other ladies that are not in the salon industry, but they're from the East Coast of Florida. And then I would be able to bring on another interviewer.
Okay.
And so at minimum, you'll have us all quite comfortable having, flushing these conversations out. Okay. And so the idea is that we get this out on paper and typed out.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, you get all your questions typed out, your talking points, and then we'll have those right there in our hands as we're walking through and having these conversations on multiple different sets. So some of them, like, we've been talking about actually sticking a microphone in front of you guys, like on one set where it looks like you're actually seated on a podcast being interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
Others, you'll have, again, like that infinity background where it's just you. Others, you'll be standing in a beautiful kitchen with a cup of coffee and,
Okay.
again, a casual kind of approach. So we'll have multiple different like setups, but it'll mostly be interview style.
Yeah.
Um, we've talked about, and you can tell me if you like this idea or not. The other thing that we'll do is we'll do small groups, as if you've seen a lot of. I'm going to show you because you were the one who asked me.
Yeah. I
Um,
was kind of curious
yeah.
what
Uh,
it looked like.
Now, never mind the branding that I'm about to show you. That's not the point of what this is. Um, I want you to see the different scenarios.
Okay.
And so I'm going to screen share here for a second. So again, the content is irrelevant. It's what we're looking at here is the different scenarios that he's put in. So this is Dan Martell. His name is just coming up a lot in the coaching world.
Okay.
And he obviously has grown a following, and he gets. So I'm going to show you a few things.
Okay. Oh yeah, I've seen him before.
Dude, you're not going to become a millionaire living in your parents' basement and talking to nobody. I believe I'm one conversation, one person, one introduction away from unlocking that big dream. And when I have the opportunity to get in front of someone.
So in this situation, he's just sitting in front of a, it looks like he's at a hotel, probably at a conference,
Right.
casually being interviewed. And he's obviously not the only person that we're now here. He's in a different scenario where actually we will use colors real similar to this on one set.
I see.
Where again, he's in conversation with somebody. They're pulling,
Love it.
They're pulling this out of him. Then there are, and I want to show you situations where he's kind of surrounded. Well, here's one where he's presenting. This is the one. This is kind of what we were thinking about for for your classroom, and I still don't know if we'll make that happen.
Okay.
But you can see he's like teaching a group, and this would be really, this would be nice because again, it puts you in front of a group. We'll figure out a way to do that either way. We have a room where we can do that. So, and then other situations, you can see he's outdoors. People are asking him questions, and we'll circle each other up. So there will be enough of us to make it look like we're in a small group, and we'll do similar things to this. So the idea is, and we'll do that outdoors as well. So the idea is that you were in a lot of different places at the same time, but people are always this is the infinity background. I didn't get this idea from him, but this is what that looks like, where you're just black background on set. When you blow that up a little bit.
Love it.
And it's just you. And this might be the myths busted piece where we actually, at this point, this will be it might be day 1 and 2, where we actually ask you a question and then have you turn to camera and just look directly into the camera and say, something I would have told my 19-year-old self, blah, 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 blah. Or, if you're a new business owner, you're just getting into this, here are 3 things I think you need to know. Or here's the one most important thing I think you need to know. And whether it's that growth mindset, whether it's whatever it is, we can answer that multiple times in multiple different ways. And then we get these, nice cuts of, you face to camera does great. On social, again, a slightly different lit situation. I'm just using him because it's easy. He has a lot of variety, and that's what we're going for is variety. Our backgrounds will be different because we'll be in a very beautiful place. We'll be able to get some outdoor stuff. Here he is outside of what looks like a hotel. This will be real easy for us to do. And then and then in the penthouse, it's a real beautiful, kind of more tans. The backgrounds are more, probably more like this sort of these kind of backgrounds. But we want to catch you in the act of answering questions. The 4th interviewer, that we'll bring in. Her name is Laura Barnes. She's a coach for professional athletes, the families of professional athletes.
Mm.
And she's a great conversationalist. You know, it'll be nice to have another female voice. But again, we'll have Nikki there. We'll have you there. We'll have, I'm hoping Sam and Janelle come. We'll have Jay there. So we'll have enough people to, who will, once we get the feel for it, we can kind of rotate in and, give little different flavors. But I'll have the questions list. If you're on set with Giovanni, he'll have the questions list.
Got
if
it.
you're on set with Scott,
Okay.
we'll all have them printed.
Yeah.
And so you'll sit down and we'll be like, okay, what did you do in the first session? In the first session, we mainly covered this, and that. Great. Do you want to go through that again? Do you want to move on a little bit into kind of your next, core area that you want to focus on? Let's exhaust that a little bit more, one more time. So I get that out. Great.
Okay.
We're going to focus on. So that's sort of what the process looks like, but it'll feel conversational almost the entire time, except for when we kind of put you that vlog style in front of the camera. Again, we'll ask a question and step back. You'll go eyes to camera like I'm doing now.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Yeah.
Tina here. If there's three things I would tell my 19-year-old self, if, oftentimes, whenever I get a conversation with a brand new business owner, there's two things I want them to walk away with, whatever it is, right? Or like, here's something I'm hearing in the beauty industry now that is just absolutely not true.
Yeah.
Those types of things.
Yeah.
And I will help you with like little things, like if you're stuck on how do I open this, sometimes it's like, well, how do I start this? I'll be like, try this, and then I'll give you another try starting with this, if I could bump into my 19-year-old self on the street, or if you could bump into your 19-year-old self, so like we'll play with different sentences that work. Sometimes we'll feel a little tongue tied and we'll just breathe it off and then, start over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Yep.
I love it. Yeah, that gives me a lot clearer vision for sure. Yeah, I didn't even realize I was following him. I haven't seen him in a minute, but I must have been intrigued or something a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting. I follow people only for the content. I've not ever, I don't think I've ever listened to one of his videos all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here he is getting a haircut.
That's great.
Yeah. So,
I love it.
So
is it possible that I could just show you the digital course I'm putting together, just to kind of maybe
1,000%
have you kind of see what I'm doing? And I just wanted to get your opinion onto if I'm actually
click present and then you can
settings. Let's see. Oh, it says open settings, but let me see. Cancel.